Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak, Radash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching His word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Ba'ath Dodah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay? Alright, this morning's lesson is on the MOTB. And, the MOTB is here. It just hasn't been made mandatory, but it will be soon. And, it's just the process of gradualism on the left-hand side, with Esau, but ultimately through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But we're going to go deeper into this digital parasite that this devil wants to put into you. Okay, RFID stands for radio frequency identification. Okay, this parasite is a mini computer that speaks through radio frequencies and stores medical, banking information, whatever criminal or personal history you may have, and can be scanned by handheld, stationary, or mobile receivers, giving your information like a barcode does. Okay, since we all know that they're going to crash the dollar, and for years been moving us to credit, debit cards, and ridding us of paper currency to prepare us for this C-HIP. The RFID is a GPS machine as well, so it's a tracking device as well. Okay, because GPS stands for Global Positioning System. All right. So, I'm gonna read what it says here. It says it's a human microparasite implant. Is any electronic device implanted subcutaneously, usually via an injection. Examples include identifying integrated circuit, RFID device encased in a silicate glass, which is implanted in the body of a human being. This type of subdermal implant usually contains a unique ID number that can be linked to information contained in external database, like I said before. Identity, criminal record, medical history, medications, address book, and other potential uses. So this thing is, okay, going to a little bit of the history. 1998, the first experiments with a RFID implant were carried out in 1998 by the British scientist Kevin Warwick. His implant was used to open doors, switch on lights, and cause verbal output within a building. After 9 days, the implant was removed and has since been held in the Science Museum in London. March 18th of 2004, Nokia, Philips, now under NXP Semiconductors, and Sony established the NFC Forum, a non-profit industry forum to advance the use of NFC wireless interaction in consumer electronics, mobile devices, and PCs. Standards include the 4 distinct tag types that provide different communication speeds and capabilities, covering flexibility, memory, security, data retention, and write endurance. NFC Forum promotes implementation and standardization of NFC technology to ensure interoperability between devices and services. 2018, Vivo Key Technologies developed the first cryptographically secure human implantable NFC transponders in 2018. The Spark is an AES 128-bit capable ISO IEC 15693 2mm by 12mm bioglass encased injectable device. The Flex One is an implantable contactless secure element capable of running Java card applets, software programs including Bitcoin wallets, PGP, Oath, OTP, UTF, U2F, WebAuthn, etc. It is encapsulated in a flat, flexible 7mm by 34mm by 0.4mm flat biopolymer shell. Applets can be deployed to the Flex One before or after implantation. 2019, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funded MIT to develop an invisible microneedle patch to store medical information under the skin with a dye. The 20th of August 2020, Neuralink CEO Elon Musk held a broadcast showcasing a pig with a coin-sized computer parasite in her brain to demonstrate the company's plans to create a working brain to machine interface for humans. 2021, disruptive subdermals tested a C19 jump shot passport in their bioglass coated NFC microparasite. Designed to be implanted in the subcutaneous tissue, it has been demonstrated by its managing director Hans Schablad, however the hell you pronounce that, who wears the parasite in his arm, but it is not yet for sale. Okay, individuals who have the parasite. Several hobbyists through to scientists and business personalities have placed RFID parasites implants into their hands or had them inserted by others. Okay, this is just going into people who've got the implant, but okay, the usage. So for the implants that are encapsulated in silicate glass, there exist multiple methods to embed the device subcutaneously, ranging from placing the implant in a syringe or trocar and piercing under the flesh, then releasing the syringe to using a cutting tool such as a surgical scalpel to cut open subdermal and position the implant in the open wound. So uses for the implant: address book, cryptocurrency wallet, key card, medical history, medical records, medical identification tag, payment cards, travel cards. And other uses, either cosmetic or medical, may include digital identity, medical records. I'm just skimming through. Building access and security, proposed uses, infections, MRIs, corrosion, cancer risks, stolen identity, privacy and security risks, risk to human freedom and autonomy. So, you can look this up on your own and read more about it. And of course, you have the misinformation about, this being the MOTB, but we all know what time it is. We all know what it's about. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some scriptures here. This is gonna be the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, and it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a parasite in their right hand or in their foreheads." Okay, when you go back to the Greek, it goes back to charagma, which is Greek for the word mark, which goes to a scratch or an etching, a stamp. Okay. Now it says here, a scratch or etching cuts into and breaks into the flesh. A sculptured figure must be chiseled or carved, etc. That is a cutting into a surface. The root of the word is karax, which means, it comes from karasso, to sharpen, to a point, akin to, through the idea of scratching, a stake. So in other words, a stake which cuts into the ground, which we are made of the ground, of the earth, and the chip, the parasite is inserted through a needle, cutting through your skin and implanting it. So go to the word grapho in the Greek, goes to grave, especially. Okay, so this is Strong's G 1125, grapho, which goes to grave, like a graven mark or image. So this is going to be Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh. Okay? So, note, this tells you, this also goes into, you're not supposed to be having any tattoos. You're not supposed to be having any ink or any marks or any cuttings or anything in your flesh. Nothing. And if you go to Strong's H7085, Ka'aka, from the same as Hebrew, Strong's H6970, an incision or gash. In other words, you know, a mark or a cut in your flesh. The Old Testament law says, do not make any cuttings in your flesh. The implantation of this C-hip cuts through your flesh and is against the biblical law. Okay? But to say it's not the C-hip implies that the C-hip is okay. Okay? When the time comes when the president or whoever's going to be in power at the time, when they pass that bill, you know, they're going to make it mandatory. You know, when they pass that bill through the mandatory health insurance bill, that people will have to, no choice, but to take this verification C-hip in case of emergencies and natural disasters. This doctrine is misleading the people to let their guards down. Okay? I'm going to start at Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, and it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So, the RFID C-hip has life, means it communicates signals and is mechanized, and it is a mechanized device reflecting the desires of the government to have total knowledge, control, and manipulation over all people as if he were the Most High. Okay? Going back now, reading verse 16 again. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Everybody. It doesn't matter whether you are a rich or so-called middle class or poor, or whatever country you're from, what you look like, what your nationality is. He wants control over everybody to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the parasite. So you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade. You won't be able to do anything in this society. They will outcast you if you don't have this parasite. Okay? They will outcast you. You will not be a part of society if you do not have this C-hip. Okay? Save he that had the parasite, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So, if you don't have this, implantable device, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, aka those ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are going to destroy this place, utterly melted in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the Lamb is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Revelation chapter 14, verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night who worship the beast or his image, and whosoever receiveth the charagma of his name. Okay? So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to make that torment, you know, if you've ever seen the movie Terminator 2, you know how when those missiles hit, you know, Sarah Connor was screaming, you know, just kind of banging her hands on that gate. When she saw the city and the kids and the families in that little park getting melted away, she was getting melted away slowly but surely. Okay? Hollering and screaming for dear life until there was nothing left of her but bones and ash. Okay? Which means that when these ICBMs hit this place, it's going to be a very, 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 very hot and slow painful death. And Lord willing that we don't have to, that we are accounted worthy to escape that, because that's the ultimate final judgment to destroy America. Verse 12, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua. This is what we're all, through patience, that long suffering. This is what we're waiting for, hoping for. Revelation 15:1. And it says, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. Verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his charagma, and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So when we're beamed up into those chariots, we're going to be, Lord willing, that we're of the elect. When we're beamed up into those chariots, we're going to be looking down at this place as it's being burnt away. Lord willing that, I myself, including you, sincere Akim wa Akwat, that, that we, that we are scarcely saved, that, we're chosen, that we are of the elect, and we're, that we don't end up, like the rest of these people out here, dead. Verse 3, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. So, we're going to rejoice if we're of the elect, because, we made it. Lord willing, we do make it. Revelation 16:1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your way, and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the charagma of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So this thing, a grievous sore, when you go into the blue letter, this thing is going to cause people to get cancer. This thing is going to, if they take this implantable device, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to cause these people to get cancer from this thing. Verse 9, and you can go and you could, like I said, Elder Apostle Tahar, he did a video of a Revelation 16 breakdown, and that's what that noisome and grievous sore is. It's going to cause people to get cancer. It's going to be grievous, painful. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 19, verse 19, and it says, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Okay, talking about the people, the heathens, the heathen nations, and their military. With Esau, Edom, they're going to make war against Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host. They're going. We already know the outcome of that. They're going to ultimately lose. So that's why they created the Space Force. They plan to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels and the chariots, and we all know that they're going to lose. Okay, this is verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the charagma of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. Verse 21, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse. which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Okay? So, you know, when these militaries are taken down, man, that's pretty much it, and there's going to be nothing but just corpses, and they're going to be nothing but leftover food for the fowls, like the vultures and all the other abominable animals that are going to inhabit this place once it's just nothing but a barren wasteland. Revelation chapter 20 verse 4, and it says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his charagma upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh, with Hamashiach 1,000 years." That's talking about the elect. And Lord willing, that I myself, as well as you sincere Akim, and Wa'akwa, that we, that we have that we were chosen, preordained from the beginning, before the foundation of this world, that we make it, that we, the Yahweh Hashem Ashai, deemed us worthy to escape all the said perils that are to come out of the book. Okay? So, a little bit more into the so let's see here. I'm going to go a little bit more into some history here about this implantable device. And it says, on Sunday, March 21st of 2010, the Senate Healthcare Bill, H.R. 3200, was passed and signed into law the following Tuesday. This new law requires an RFID parasite implanted in all of us. This chip will not only contain your personal information with tracking capability, but it will also be linked to your bank account. And get this, page 1004 of the new law dictating the timing of this parasite reads, and I quote, "Not later than 36 months after the date of the enactment. It is now the law of the land that by March 23rd, 2013, we will all be required to have an RFID parasite underneath our skin." But this was, but that hasn't happened. So, but it's all through the will and power behind by Shemal Shai. That this is just the process of gradualism, and he's just using Esau, just using Esau Edom as a chess piece, okay, just to for that final test in Jacob's trouble. But let's see. Like I said, the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Let's see. Slack it. H.R. 3200, Section 2521. The Secretary shall establish a National Medical Device Registry in the subsection referred to as the registry to facilitate analysis of post-market safety and outcomes data on each device that is or has been used in or on a patient and is a Class 3 device or a Class 2 device that is implantable, life-supporting, or life-sustaining. And it is approved by the FDA. So a Class 2 implantable device is an implantable radio frequency transponder system for patient identification and health information. The purpose of a Class 2 device is to collect data in medical patients, such as claims data, patient survey data, standardized analytic files that allow for the pooling and analysis of data from disparate data environments, electronic health records, and other data deemed appropriate by the Secretary. So, if you get this thing, you're pretty much making yourself a slave to Esau Edom and his beast system. You're pretty much signing your death warrant with Yahweh by Shemal Shai, basically telling him to go ahead and kill me. I chose to serve the world, not you. So, just remember that if you take this thing, that's a wrap. It's over. Over. Yeah. And you can look up more information on this, but like I said, this thing will. So, This is something that, let's see. So, I hope that this lesson was edifying unto the body and to those that are new coming in, listening and learning with all sincerity. I like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakat Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Baitha Devadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom, Barakatam.